So even though we have all these goals, we have these big ideas, even if you don't achieve it, realize you're still achieving it because you're achieving the main purpose of it.
Yeah.
So it's like the main purpose is like the small little circle. Everything we want is like bigger around it. It's almost like a gobstopper, if you would. The core is what
Yeah.
we want, but it's like we keep building all these layers around it, or a rubber band
Uh-huh.
ball you want. You keep building it bigger and bigger and bigger. Sometimes it gets too big and it pops, but always realize that you have that core. And that core is what really drives you. That's where the real power is. And so many of us don't know our cores on the inside, which is why introspection work, self-perception, this is like the literal answer to everything, in my opinion. It's what's been helping me actually make things stick. And it's what's been helping me drive my business, help my clients. And it's awesome.
Do you ever feel like no matter what you do, it's not good enough? Like perfect is the only standard, but you're still left feeling behind? Perfectionism keeps us stuck. It robs us of peace, of our joy, and the freedom to just be. That's why I created Beauty of Imperfection, Good is Enough, a guided workbook to help you let go of the pressure, quiet your inner critic, and start celebrating progress over perfection. Inside, you'll find tools that remind you your worth has never depended on being perfect. It's time to embrace the beauty of imperfection because good really is enough. Let me remind you, you are always worthy. You already are. Get your copy of my workbook today. Emotionally unavailable.
Okay. Well, it's very nice to meet you.
Oh, it's
I'm
fantastic meeting
sorry that
you,
you're
Mo.
having tech issues. Thank you.
I mean, right now, all the tech issues seem to be resolved. We'll see if it holds up as we do this episode.
I'm gonna.
Yes.
There we go.
Channel all the good energy.
Yes, exactly. What we focus on grows. So I'm gonna
Yes.
focus on the fact that everything is good.
It is. Everything is good.
Everything is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm really curious about where this conversation will go today because, well, for one thing, okay, so you do boudoir photos,
I do.
and I I I used to wouldn't do it because I hated the way I looked.
Hmm.
Now I'm like, I won't do it because then I'm gonna have photos that I'm just hiding in my house so that my children don't come upon them. You know what I mean? Like, and my
Yeah.
husband would like to look at it for like 5 minutes, but then it's like, okay, let me just, and I don't. It's not like the fear of my children coming across it would ruin any part of it. You know what I mean?
I hear
And
you.
so for
So,
me, I
mhm.
just I'm a little freaked out by it.
Well, listen, when it comes to those objections, okay, there's a couple of things going on here. So, A, when it comes to your children finding them eventually, um, I had an assistant with me for a while, Asia, and she told me that she discovered after her grandmother's passing, like she was going through like a storage unit of hers, and she found boudoir photos of her grandmother. And she was so proud of her. She was just like, oh my God, I never even knew she did this. I never knew she was that type of person. And she loved it. She was just amazed
Yes,
by it.
but that was a
However,
girl. I have boys too.
exactly. And listen, it's a different case for each and every person. And yes, if they saw them now, they'll just be like, oh my God, what the hell is
Right,
mom doing?
it's not the future. In the
It's
future,
the
I
now.
wouldn't give a shit what they thought, but right
Exactly.
now, like, they're 23 and 18, and I just would be mortified if they were like, "The fuck is this?"
Well, I mean, here's the other thing though. You're not doing it for them. You're
Yeah.
not even doing it for your husband because listen, your husband is going to love them regardless. The reason why everyone does this is for themselves, you
Yeah.
know? And you're also thinking about just the end result. You're thinking about the photo. Like you're thinking about the
Yes.
actual photo, whether it's like framed, whether it's an album. That's really not what it's about,
It's
believe it
about
or
the
not.
process.
It's about the process and it's about the feeling that you have at the end of it. Okay. Because the actual photos themselves are really just reminders. They're reminders of who you really are. At least that's
Yeah.
how I tackle boudoir photography. There's a lot of people out there who just dive heavy into, just like the sexy aspect of it, which is fine.
Yes.
So it's like you'll
Yeah,
have
but
an
that's
amazing
not what
photo of
your
your ass,
purpose
but
is. Yeah.
it's not exactly where I go with it. I mean,
Yeah.
the reason why I landed on boudoir photography was because everyone has an innate desire to want to feel desired. We want to feel desirable. We want to feel sexy. We want to feel attractive because that feeling gives us a lot of power.
Mhm.
When you feel that way, you honestly feel like you could accomplish anything. It's like,
Absolutely.
hell yeah, I got this. It's like you got no worries at that point. So I help people kind of tap into that feeling, tap into that emotion, and boudoir allows you to do that. I also do glamour work as well, so it's more like dresses and things like that. But
Yeah.
but when it comes to that, a lot of people I found they're just like, yeah, I look good in the photo, but it's really the dress, it's this, it's that, the other thing, and they're not fully seeing themselves. But when it's boudoir, when you're wearing a lot less, you literally have nothing else to kind of object to it. You're not
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I only look good because of the dress." It's like, "No, I look good because that's fucking me." Sorry
Mhm.
if I curse a
Oh, no,
little bit.
baby, we drop F-bombs here, it's all good.
Awesome.
Um, no, I love this because I was just thinking, um well, okay, so I used to, like, not be in pictures at all.
Yeah.
I felt like I was the most unattractive person in any room. It was wild. And so
It's common, but yeah.
yeah, I know, and I hate that, but I've
Yeah.
gotten really that's the work I've done on the outside, is just working on, like, all of that comes from the inside, and the way you feel on the inside is what's gonna be on the outside, blah, blah, blah. But just the other day, I was thinking, I was like, "Man, when I hit my next milestone for downloads that I wanna celebrate, I kinda wanna do a photo shoot, like, to be able to, like,
Nice.
like, have the number and, things like that." And
Yeah.
it's funny because just the consideration of it, like, brought some stuff up that I had to address, like, because it was, "Oh, I might do a photo shoot," and then it's the next thought is like, "But you've gained weight," and, like, things like that, and I was like, "My god, is this ever gonna go away?"
So it goes away when you tackle the core issue, which is your self-perception, which
Mhm.
is what I really truly help people come to terms with, accept, and see all of their positive traits. And that's what I capture for them. So that when you're looking at your portraits, all you see is the good and not the bad.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And the only way I'm able to do this is because I'm a maniac and a perfectionist, and I created a 3-day experience for my clients. So it's because we do all of this, essentially like pre-work before we even get into your photo shoot. All of that really helps not just me understand who you are, but it helps my clients understand who they really are at their core, which so many people don't know. And it sucks and it's sad because not many people do kind of like introspection work. So it's like what I do is I help guide them through that. It's a process that I do, I call it the personality reveal and everything, but it's a guided introspection practice exercise that I do, if
Yeah.
you would. And it's so enlightening for so many people because a lot of people answer these questions that are like, oh my God, like I never thought about that. And I write
Mhm.
everything out on like this giant whiteboard that I have. So when you do that, it's very easy to connect the dots. And it's very easy to go, oh my God, I've been holding myself back because I thought XYZ or because this happened or like all these things start falling into place. And then you have a clearer picture of who you are. And now I have a clearer picture of who to capture for that. But
Yeah.
with you specifically, if you're saying, like, if all these thoughts come up, like, oh my God, I gained weight, I don't like how I look in pictures, it's because you haven't had a good enough photographer to take a good photo of
Oh,
you
I
where you're
don't
just like,
doubt it.
oh, it's
'Cause
like, I can't
I've only
look
had
in
professional pictures a couple of times.
most, most people only do it for their wedding, and that's
I
about
did
it.
it for
Like,
family pictures twice, that's it.
nice, you know? And it's good. And it's it's important to have a professional who knows how to light you, how to angle you, how to pose you, all that good stuff, because we know how to accentuate all of your positive qualities. And we know how to show you exactly the way you want to be seen. So that's why you hire a professional photographer. It's not
Yeah.
just because, oh, I need this photo for XYZ. It's
Right.
because I really want to see my best self. And
Yeah. So how
that's what
did
it
you get into the self-perception part of this?
Oh my God. So big story with that. But let me just kind of fast track it for everybody listening. Okay. So when it came to just like photography in general, I started shooting absolutely everything. I shot weddings, I shot products, food. When my first daughter was born, I did infant photography, and it's like, oh my God, never again. That was just
Oh
like,
god, I can't even imagine.
but nothing was really doing it for me. Nothing like felt, I don't want to say important enough, but like I just wasn't
It didn't
falling
light
in
you up. Yeah.
exactly until I actually tried boudoir photography. And I did it with like a model at first. It was from a workshop, which wasn't really a workshop that I went to. And it was essentially just like five guys shooting a couple models who were wearing lingerie. And I'm just like, this is kind of gross and disgusting because this is not the way it's supposed to be. I was like the only one who walked up to her. I'm like, hi, my name is Greg. What is your name? And like started a rapport. And I
Yeah.
didn't know anything about posing, but I had my phone. So I'm like, you mind doing this pose? Could we try this and everything? I was the only one giving her guidance and like trying to actually create something where everyone else just made it kind of like a paparazzi shoot. They just like click, 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 click. I'm like, oh my God, this is trash. But regardless of that, I took good photos of her and I ended up printing out a couple because I was testing printers at the time and things like that. And I had like this really big, like 16 by 24, something like that. I couldn't hang it in my house because married, just had a baby and everything. So I was like, you could have this portrait. Her name was Diana. I'm like, have the portrait. It's all yours. Keep it. And she was so thankful about that because she told me she ended up sending it to her grandmother who lives in Russia, who never gets to see her, and how thankful her grandmother was for it. And also, it was more of like a glamour shot, just to be
Yeah.
clear. It wasn't like full on lingerie. The way it was cropped, it was like a shot and it just looked awesome. So she was so thankful for that. And this was kind of like the first time I actually got thanks for my work. And I'm just like, okay, there's something here. But then as I started doing it more and more and getting actual paying clients, starting my business and everything, I started realizing how powerful it really can be. How women are seeing their portraits and they're just like in tears because they never saw themselves this way. And then I
Mhm.
also worked with people who suffered different diseases where this really helped them come out of their shell, come to terms with their diseases and things like that, past traumas. And I was just like, oh my God, like this is so much deeper than I ever thought it could be. And it's even deeper than what I was kind of like sold on when it came to boudoir photography, because a lot of people were just like, oh, it's so empowering and it's life changing. And at the time, I was just like, how is it life changing? It's just
Yeah,
photo,
yeah. You're like, I mean, I
like
believe you, I
photo
guess,
life
but
changing. Yeah. So it wasn't until I started doing it. And then once I did it, I was just like, okay, how can we actually do this more frequently, more impactfully, and actually get that kind of like life changing result for as many people as possible?
yeah.
And I developed this whole 3-day experience process. And that's been getting me the consistent results with my clients. And the whole day one is like the in person consultation and the personality reveal that I touched on a little bit. But the way I came about that was actually because I was in a deep depression at a time. And we just had like my second daughter, and it was just draining on me because I was working from home. I was the one kind of raising the kids. Listen, my wife was always there, super supportive, but she was always at work. And it was a lot for me. And my insurance didn't cover therapy at the time. So I was kind of like shit out of luck. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, how do I fix myself here? So I did a lot of research online, things like introspection work, what to ask yourself. And I kind of paired those questions with the generic surface level stuff that I would normally ask my clients, like what kind of music are you into? What are your interests? Things like that. And I did it on myself. And it gave me so much clarity on who I actually was and what was really important to me that I was like, you know what? Let me try this on clients. Let me see if it sticks, if people enjoy it. I started doing it for my clients and it was having a massive impact on them. And I'm just like, okay, there's something here. So I
Which
just like,
also, like, becomes even more fulfilling for you.
it is because it's more consistent and it's not just, oh my God, that's a pretty picture that this guy took of me. It's holy shit, that is me. Like, that's what I want all of my clients to say. And thankfully, all of them do say that. And one thing that a lot of them said that kind of pissed me off at the time was they're looking at their portraits and they kept saying, "Oh my God, she's so beautiful. She's amazing. She looks fantastic." And it would piss me off because I'm just like, but that's you. That's nobody else. Like, that is you. That's not someone different. And what I realized was, and I kind of realized this only in like the past year or two, that what they're really saying is when they're saying like, there she is, they're saying there's that person inside of me, like
Yeah.
that inner voice. It's like, holy crap, there she is. It's like I'm hardly in touch with her, but there she is. Now she's made physical. Now she's made real. And then you kind of
Yes.
become a person. And a lot of my clients have changed a lot of their lives by once you see
Tapping
that.
into the energy of that.
Exactly. And it's not just photos that you're actually getting evidence. You're getting physical proof of who you really are. And that
Yes.
is like so important, so vital that I'm just like, I can't fucking do anything but this for the rest of my life,
Yes.
you
Well, and it
know?
sounds like during your process,
Mhm.
they are actually really embodying their
They
truest
are.
selves during the photo, like the photo
Yes.
process too, before and during and after. And
Exactly.
then it probably, if they're not doing a lot of that introspection post, then when
Yeah.
they receive the photos, it's like, "Oh, I remember, and I don't wanna let that go again." It's probably, like, great that there's that little lag time
Yeah.
between the photography and receiving the pictures, because then they can be like, "I don't wanna quit feeling like that. I remember I left feeling that way that day, and slowly every day I've kinda lost the feeling. How do I stay in that
Yeah.
energy?" That's so
Exactly.
cool.
And the other thing is like, I also kind of learned this past year and everything without fully knowing it, okay, I baked in essentially cognitive behavioral therapy techniques into this process. Because like I was talking to like different therapists about my process and they're just like, oh my God, like this sounds like legit therapy that you're doing for your clients. And I'm like, I am not a licensed therapist. That's not
Yeah, you're
even what
like,
I'm
"Well, we
going
won't
for.
call it that, but I'm pretty sure it is."
Exactly. But it's definitely therapeutic. And they started pointing out different things. So it's like, during different parts of it, I'm building cognitive reframing. Okay. So that kind of happens on like day one when we do the personality reveal. You're literally reframing how you see yourself because you're letting your full self out. So all those
Mhm.
past like self-limiting beliefs essentially become conquered right away. So even before I put a camera in front of anybody, they start feeling better about themselves. And it's freaking awesome. And then on like the third day, you get cognitive dissonance. So what happens here with cognitive dissonance, this is when you have like your old self-limiting belief and now you're face to face with like a better belief about yourself and you're forced to choose between the two. Okay. So that's kind of like cognitive dissonance. You're kind of like choosing between like a good or a bad, and you're just forced into the good because that's where you want to be. And I do this by actually putting together a gallery for my clients. So I don't just send you digitals and it's like, okay, do you like this photo? Do you like that photo? I have you actually walk into a gallery of yourself.
Oh,
And when
wow.
that happens, exactly, when that happens, everything just comes together for everybody because you're seeing yourself on like this massive scale. You're seeing like 24 by 36 prints of yourself, and you're just like, holy shit, like that is me. And
That's so
yeah, and it
cool.
makes it stick. It's all designed to make it stick because the other thing that I've learned doing a lot of introspection work, a lot of self-help books and everything, it doesn't stick very well. So I had to learn like, okay, what actually makes things stick? What actually
You have to
creates
integrate. How do we integrate this shit? Yeah.
exactly. So it's building these things, it's anchoring who you are at like the very beginning so that before you even see your portraits, that feeling of you is already baked into it. So then when you finally see it, it's in there. And every time
Mhm.
you see these portraits, it just comes back up again in like the most amazing ways. So it's just baking everything into these portraits. And yeah, it is a 3 separate day process. It's not back to back days and it's according to like your schedule or availability, but we make it work with everybody. And it's just such a beautiful experience. And like, I'm so glad that I kind of like discovered this because it is so powerful and
Yeah.
it is so amazing. And I'm just like, yeah, like this is it. This is all I could do.
Oh, I love that. So do you feel like the
Mhm.
more introspective you became on yourself,
Yeah.
the more developed this process became?
Oh, hells yeah. And honestly, I mean, all of this kind of came from within me. Like everything that we do, it's technically because of us. And then it's
Mhm.
like, okay, if this worked for us, maybe it'll work for others.
Yeah.
Even the photography in general, I never liked the way that I looked. I always
Yeah.
put myself down. I never thought I was good looking. I never thought I could be sexy until I took photos of myself and I'm like, you know what? I'm not that bad looking. And then I took
Yeah.
better photos of myself and it's like, you know what? I'm actually fucking sexy. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And I just take everything that has helped me and I try to make it in a way that it could help other people. So it's like I keep developing things. I keep creating new processes and everything. I bake it
Yeah.
into my experience. And it's like I also just created an entire self-worth system, which was freaking amazing. It's still in kind of like beta, if you
Yeah,
would.
yeah. But is
This is
it
just
work that you
something
did on yourself first?
it is. It
Yeah.
is. So it's a lot of introspection work that I did on myself. And it really helped me. And it's kind of like reframing techniques and just asking yourself a lot of these introspection questions. I created it into like a year-long process for people, and it hits like different topics, and it's awesome. It's really cool. It helped me out a lot, and this is kind of like almost like an entry point. So for like the people who aren't ready to have this full-blown 3-day experience, I wanted to create something where it's like, okay, here's how you could kind of like start working on yourself on your own time, your own schedule, and everything. And that's what the self worth system is all about. And I'm super excited about that. I'm still tweaking it here and there.
Yeah, sounds
Um,
exciting though. I
it
love it
is. It's,
because
yeah.
I think anytime we have turned the mirror on ourselves and done the work on ourselves and then share what worked for us, that's the most impact you can possibly have on this earth.
And that's what everyone is supposed to be doing, right? I mean, like, we're supposed to help
That's what
lift
I
other
think.
people up and everything.
Mhm.
And it's just so much easier to put people down, put ourselves down. That's kind of what we hear and see the most of. But
Yeah.
I want to change that because there are so many good people out there, so
Yes.
many caring people. Like a large majority of my clients work in some kind of caring field. They're either in like healthcare or education or they're single mothers. And it's just like they're loving, caring people, but they've been shitted on in their life and they
Mhm.
lost touch with who they really are. And I want to help people never lose touch with who they are and remember all their strengths, all their amazing qualities, and capture it, show it to them in the most amazing way possible.
Well, and what you're doing, let me just say, it's such a beautiful example of kind of the same mission in different fonts. Cause like I'm doing that
Yes,
too. You know what I mean?
you
Like
are
you're
a hundred
describing my
percent.
journey exactly, but you're doing it through photography and a process and whatever. And
Yeah,
I think it's so great because ultimately you just need to share yourself. Whatever you
yeah,
are, find yourself, share in real time. Not like once I reach some destination of healed, you're even allowing new things to unfold. That's
yeah.
what you're supposed to do.
And that's the other thing. A lot of people won't do this experience until they lose a certain amount of pounds or they're in the right place financially and everything. And it's like, no, you kind of need this for yourself now. This is what's going to actually get you to that point you're actually aiming for. Because when you keep pushing things off, it never gets done. You know
Right.
that. And it's only when you're real with yourself that things actually start to form. What was the quote? I love this so much. It was man knows that nothing will start unless he speaks, and nothing will change unless he moves.
Mm.
So you really need to speak up for yourself. And once you do that, once you kind of start identifying what all these issues are, especially when you do introspection work, when you're talking to yourself and everything and being real, then you could start making the moves. Everyone
Yeah,
tries to
because do
make
you
the
even
moves
understand
first.
how long it's taken me to unravel subconscious
Please.
beliefs that I deserve bad
Yeah.
things or that I'm not worthy
Right.
of good things or I'm a bad girl. Like all of these things were
Yeah.
subconscious. It's taken so much work to bring that to the conscious to change the belief. I work on that every
It
single
does.
day. So like you got to
Yeah.
find something that you decide I'm going to value this to value
Mhm.
myself more so that I can unravel because I do believe our outsides are just a reflection of our inside beliefs. And so I'm just working on fixing my belief system. And every single time
Mm.
you learn something really intimately about yourself, you can see it in others so clearly, which A helps you have more compassion for them because you've learned to
Yes.
extend that to yourself, but also you can help them like because it's so
Yeah.
easy to see it. Like I can see
Yeah.
now. Oh, you have a sub I was just telling someone yesterday, I was like, "Honey, I think you probably just have a visibility wound, and I think someone once told you you were too loud, and you're afraid
Mhm.
to talk, but I think that's bullshit. I think you have every like,
Yeah.
you own this shit, own that space, you know?"
Yeah. And sometimes these people just need to hear that. They need to hear that from
Mhm.
someone else. A lot of times, all we really need is permission to be ourselves
Yes.
because so often people put us down for being ourselves, whether it's our
Yes.
parent, whether it's friends, family, like anybody. People keep trying to fit you into a box. So
Yep.
people are always going to try to limit you based off of their thoughts, their beliefs, and everything. And you can't. You got to just be you.
Yep.
But I also understand wholeheartedly how hard that is. And it's
Yes.
really hard when you keep falling through the same cycles and you don't stop to ask why.
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening? Why am I feeling this way? Why does this keep coming up? Why do I keep holding myself back from actually doing the fucking shit that I want to do?
Right.
That's what introspection work is. It's just answering that question.
Uh-huh.
And all the answers you really want, I truly do believe, no worries,
Sorry.
truly do believe that all the answers we are looking for are inside. Even though
Yeah.
we're constantly looking outside, we're looking to other people to solve our problems. It's like, take my money, solve this issue for me. And it's like, that happens, but the issue isn't fully resolved because it's internal. It's an internal
Until
thing.
you make that shift within,
Yeah.
nothing
But
out external of you is really gonna penetrate that.
yeah. But I want to actually bring up something really quick because you touched on this, how like we're kind of the same.
Uh-huh.
Um, oh, 1 second. Let me allow that. There was something on your website that when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, like this is me. And on your website, it says, you don't need more tools. You don't need to fix yourself. You just need a space sacred enough to hold who you already are and who you are becoming. And I was just like, yes, that is 1,000% what I do for my
Yeah,
clients. Give them that
absolutely.
space. And it's really set up in like a significant way. It's like I'm trying to do this in some people's homes, like the day one, like the consultation and everything, but
Yeah.
it works so much better when you remove them. You remove them from
Yes,
like those elements,
I
get them in
agree.
completely safe space where they can be fully open, fully transparent. And that alone is like so changing for so many people. So I love that that was there. And like I knew immediately like this would be a good fit, doing this
Yeah,
podcast with
well, as
her.
soon as I saw self-perception, I was like, "Ooh, I love to hear about shit like this. Let's talk."
Yeah.
Because I just man, are you spiritual?
So I do have my own beliefs when it comes to like religion and spirituality. Um, I'm open to like all ideas. And it's like I'm trying to connect the dots to see it's
Yeah,
like, well, everyone is saying these things. Maybe that's true, but other people are saying this. How do they actually connect and correlate? Like I just love solving puzzles. So it's like
yeah. You're
my
very
constantly
analytical. I
changing. I'm very analytical. I
yeah, I
am a
could tell.
perfectionist, but
Yeah. Are
I'm
you a
also
Virgo?
no, I'm a
Um
Libra. I'm a Libra, so it's
Oh,
all
a
about
Libra.
balance.
Okay, okay,
All about
yeah.
balance. 6,
Well, the
7.
only reason I asked is because I feel like so much of all of these concepts are stuff that well, is only allowed with that expanded consciousness,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm gonna say this as nicely as possible. I feel like religion
Mhm.
closes your consciousness. Like
It
it
does.
narrows down the view. Whereas like releasing all of the teachings I learned in church and just
Yeah.
allowing space for new ideas to come in. I mean, because I was very resistant to anything outside of that for years. Then I was like, maybe I'm an atheist because I don't believe. And then I was like, well, but I kind of still do believe there's something bigger than me. And then I found
Exactly.
astrology. I mean, I've always known a little bit, but I got really into it.
Mhm.
And just seeing this blueprint, I was like, "Okay, there's something," and so it really, like, opened my heart to spirituality and to just,
Nice.
like, understand deeper concepts, I'll say.
Yeah.
But I it just I n the way I believe this human experience is designed has really evolved
Yeah.
continually. Because I was like, "Okay, we all have a sacred mission." And then I was like, well, I mean, I do still believe that we each have a sacred mission, but I also believe the human experience was designed first and foremost to experience the most joy and abundance. Like unlocking all the little secret locks and it's like a fucking constant escape room, like to get to joy and abundance. Like you got to go through this shit and you got to, figure shit out. And then now like I'm in real joy and not cuz I don't have stress cuz I
Yeah.
do, but I know
Everyone
how to
does.
like deal with stuff now
Yeah.
and see the future still is here and I still have a bigger purpose and
Yeah.
a faith that is even stronger than it ever was with Christianity because
Yeah.
I'm like no like I'm here to do something. So like I'm going to do that thing. But I
Yeah.
think too we all have these little side quests. And so it's funny to me because I feel like we are so meant to share our learning and you might be the first person, I mean, off the top of my head, who's
Mhm.
doing it in a very similar but very different way too. But I love seeing the possibility. I'm loving that my audience can see how to share their learning in whatever field they're passionate about, whatever's lighting them up, how to share their learning within that. Because I have really started preaching this lately, especially after a couple of different guests, where
Mhm.
it like unlocked something in me where it was like, oh, in real time, share, evolve, and then evolve your processes like over and over and over again, continue to be
Exactly.
open. And so I've started like even with clients being like, yo, you've learned some real shit. Make sure you're sharing your learning with the people around you because it's going to reinforce what you know when you're teaching someone else about it. It's going to help you integrate, it's going to help you deepen that embodiment and it helps them because I always tell them when you change, the world around you changes. But that's how you ripple out, not just from your higher vibrations, but also because you're sharing your learning. And so I'm
Right.
just loving that you are doing it in this one specific way,
Yeah.
even though it's evolved and it's going to continue to, I think. I love that because this gives people a different picture than what I've been able to even provide for how in your life you can do whatever the fuck it is that lights you up and still have major impact on people's lives.
Exactly. And it is sharing all the knowledge, everything that you come up with, all of your experiences, and it's just helping people, like, and I'm so thankful and fortunate that I found a way to help people that is artistic.
Yeah.
It's through art. And art is so powerful, but
Ugh,
there's a
it's the
reason why
most
art
powerful, truly.
it is because art is creation. Okay?
Mhm.
Anything created is art, whether you like it or not. Any type of creation, like fine art though, is just something created with more thought, more effort, more meaning, if you would. So I always try to infuse fine art for all of my clients because it is infused with so much meaning, so much depth. And it's okay if other people looking at my work don't see that right away. And
Right.
because it's not you. However, for the people who are in that picture, in that portrait, when they look at it, that's where all the meaning is. And that's why it's so impactful. And yeah, I mean, listen, if you want to get a little religious, philosophical and everything, I went to Catholic school and I went to an all boys Catholic high school. And that's kind of like the fastest way to make someone an atheist, if you would.
No, you're
because,
so right.
because honestly, it just shined a bright light on like all the inconsistencies. And I can't take inconsistencies. I can't take hypocrisy. And I'm just like, no, you can't say love everybody except these people, except those people, and then do all these horrible things to children. It's like, no, I do not want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
However, what I came up with, just from my own logical thinking, combining different religions and everything, I love boiling things down to its core. So I was always asking myself, okay, so like, what is God? Who is God? Like, what does God do? And I came up with God does two things. God destroys. So whenever there's like a major flood, anything like that, it's always, oh, it's God. It's an act of God. So God destroys, but God also creates nature, us, love, everything. Like everything created is the good aspects of God. So then I'm thinking, okay, what do humans do? We destroy, but we also create.
Yeah.
Well, boiling it down, I came to the conclusion that all humans are gods.
Mhm.
We all have godly powers. We could all create and we could all destroy. And it's up to us to choose how we want to use that power. And if we actually look inwards, we essentially figure out what our superpowers are. If you
Yeah.
and for a
Uh-huh.
lot of people, believe it or not, their superpowers are loving and caring, which is
Yeah.
fucking awesome because we need more of that in the world. But so many people don't see it as significant as it truly is.
Mhm.
And once you start doing that more and more, that's how you change. Like your family, the people around you, when they
Yep.
see you loving and caring, they start doing the same too. So it's always lead by example. And yeah, when like you tap into like everything that makes you you, like you gotta let that shine. And
Yeah.
if you're having trouble figuring out what that is, I help people figure that out and then I show it to them so that they always remember it. So that's where I came to my conclusions on everything. I literally feel like everyone is God.
Yeah. I do too.
But I mean, it's when you say it that way, it's like, oh, it's not that special
It's
because
easily
it's only
rejected, yeah.
one, but it's like, why does it have to be one? There's already several religions with multiple gods and everything. I feel like we're just all like descendants of all of them. And we use our powers how we use them, whether for destruction, whether for good, whether for evil. Like, it is what it is. So it's like heaven and hell are right here on earth. We already know this, you
Yeah.
know, you see it. The problem is we keep comparing ourselves to other people, and that is the thief of like all joy. I
Oh
forget who
god, is
said
that the
that.
truth?
I forgot who
Yeah.
originally said it, but I heard Jimmy Carr say it recently that comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes. I heard it like 10 years ago and it's helped me
Yep.
so much because I'm like, well, even with my podcast, I remember feeling a little embarrassed to
Mhm.
celebrate 10,000 downloads because it took
Right.
a little over a year to get there.
That's
And
amazing.
then but I was like, "No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna celebrate," so I did. And then I saw someone celebrating that they hit like 1,000 in a year and I was like, "Melissa, what are you doing? Like why are you all if you're going to compare yourself, why is it always that comparison, the people who are doing
Yes.
better than you?" Like,
We
yeah,
always do that.
Mel
We always
Robbins
compare
has
to
a
like
lot
the
more
people who are,
downloads.
yeah.
Yes, and I but I'm not I'm like so I'm trying so hard to not do that. And in terms
Yeah.
of like I've been talking about this a lot lately, so sorry
Mhm.
audience, but I've been like testing my powers a little bit.
Okay.
Like my belief system being reflected on the outside or whatever. So I've been like focusing on a very specific number of downloads for this month and I've almost hit it. And, like, now I'm like, "Okay, I wanna hit this goal by the end of the year." Like, there's certain things, but I'm visualizing that number every single day, and I have a belief that I fucking deserve it. I deserve good things, I deserve success, I deserve whatever the hell I want.
Yep.
And that was the big belief to change is because every time something happened that was stressful or negative,
Mhm.
there was this part of me that absolutely was like, "I must have okay, I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm sure I did. I'm sure even as innocent as I just wasn't manifesting correctly. So, okay, this is what you get when that happens. Well, there's some truth in that because I wasn't changing the belief behind the manifestation, but that's why I'm starting small with things that I can hold in my nervous system, you know, like this number that I'm going for isn't like some extravagant number, but
Yeah.
it's good and it
It's a
feels
realistic
safe
goal.
to hold it. Yes, absolutely. And so I'm like starting small so that I can, you know, work up from there, but it is crazy cuz everything started shifting when I started working on that.
Yeah. But now let me ask you this, okay? If you don't hit this goal by the end of the year, but
Mhm.
let's say it takes you until the end of January,
Yes.
are you going to celebrate exactly how you would celebrate before? Like, is
I
it going to be
am, and it's funny that you
impactful?
ask because I
Yeah.
actually had that exact conversation with myself yesterday, like,
Nice.
well, I said to myself, because sometimes here's where I'll get into doubt, is like, is it okay to give myself the grace to say, maybe it's not gonna happen till the end of January, and I believe it will. I have no doubt this number will be by the end of January, no doubt at all,
Uh-huh.
but I'm like, will so I decided I was gonna celebrate, but then I was like, wait, is that not faithful enough? Is that not like believing enough if I'm allowing that? So I've just said, whatever's in my highest good. This is the goal, but I'm also working on detaching from outcomes, you know,
Yes.
because like there may be a bigger plan, you know,
Yeah.
something better that could happen if I'm chill about things. So it's more like I'm taking the aligned steps that I believe to be the things to do, which
Uh-huh.
so far are working.
There you go.
Um, but I'm not gonna allow it to make me feel like ass about myself if I don't hit it by the end of December.
Yes, please.
But I won't be surprised if I hit it by the end of December, but I know I will by the end of January. So yes, I'm absolutely gonna celebrate the
Good.
same way.
Now, what did I want to say? You know, like when it comes to this goal, okay, what is it about it that's going to make it so impactful for you? Like, why, like, what is, because you want to hit a certain number. Why is that number so significant?
Well, because I'm trying to grow the podcast, and so I
Of course.
just rather than just being like, "Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up a fucking superstar," right? Like, I can't hold that. I cannot. I can't believe it enough. I can't hold it. Nothing. So I'm starting, like, with increments where I'm like, "Okay," like, kind of like a, "Thank you, now more, please." So
Yes,
it's like I just decided to start with certain
of course.
milestones.
And that's how
Does
you
that make
have to,
sense?
you know, like, because obviously superstardom, that's the ultimate goal. But then you break it down. So you have like your smaller goals that you're going to achieve and reach and make those. But what, what do you feel like when you hit that number? What do you want to feel? Because this is the real
Maybe
question.
proof of impact?
Okay. But now here's the other thing. If you really want proof of impact, you don't have to look at. Oh, there we go. Hold up 1 second. I knew this would probably happen. Where are we? Okay, whatever. Ugly camera. So if you're looking for proof of impact, you just have to look at your clients. That's where
Yeah.
the real impact is. It's not in the follower count. It's not in the downloads. It's not in the views. It's in how you made that impact on that one individual. This is something I had to learn myself because I used to sorry, I
It's
can't change
okay.
the.
It's okay.
So yeah, I ended up winning a photography award. There was only really one competition that I wanted to enter, and it was the Portrait Masters competition. And I entered it 1 year, and I got like some credit for like the photo, but I didn't like win any of like the top 25 or whatever it was. But then I entered again the next year, and I came in first place. And I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to just be in like the top 10. And I was like, holy crap, I came first place in this. So it's like I have the trophy, I got my Portrait Masters trophy and everything. And I'm just like, everything's going to change for me. This is going to be amazing. My business is going to blow up. I got the award, I got the trophy. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
That's, and what I ended up realizing is that's not my real trophy. The real
Yeah.
trophy that I hold dear to myself is after everyone's experience, I have a guest book that I have them sign. So that book is my literal trophy. So I look back on that
Oh,
and it's
I
like
love that.
the impact that I've had on everyone. That's the real thing. That's the real, like the meat of it all. That's what you truly want, you know? So having the numbers is awesome. Having the follower count, having the downloads, obviously we want that because we want to increase our reach. We want to get our message out to as many people as we can. But at the same time, give yourself credit for everyone you have been helping already. And
True.
even if I just did this process for one person and it changed their life completely and it made such an impact on them, I'd be happy with that. But the fact that I'm able to do this for so many people, it just amplifies it. So yeah, you're looking to just amplify your message, Melissa, but don't lose track of the fact that you're already making an impact and you're already changing people's lives. You're already doing what you're aiming for, if you would,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
no, thank
Like you
you. I
might,
agree.
yeah, you might think that that number signifies it, but that number doesn't signify it, not fully.
Yeah, you're right.
It signifies your reach, but it doesn't signify your impact. And
Yeah.
all you want is that impact and you're doing it, so give yourself credit for that. Treat yourself nicer. We all need to do that. It's hard. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's easy. It's super hard treating ourselves nice because it's so easy to shit on ourselves, to put ourselves down, to
Yeah.
say we need to do XYZ because this person over here did all those things. So I need to be like that in order to reach their status, in order to reach their level. And it's not the truth. You already know this. You already know you just need to be you. So keep
Yeah.
being you because you're fucking rocking it, Melissa. You really are.
Thank
You
you.
website, everything that you're doing, your coaching platform and everything, all the guides you put out, you know, they're so awesome. It's all great.
That's
So
so sweet. Thank you so much.
you're welcome, from one artist to another, you know. And at the end of the day, we all just kind of want recognition,
Yeah, for sure. For
you know,
sure.
because we need recognition to essentially validate what we're doing. To say it's like, okay, I am making an impact. I am doing something that's meaningful here. And hearing it from somebody else just kind of solidifies it. So, yeah, I understand why you're chasing that. I understand why you want that. But if you could just reframe it as to what the real thing is that you're looking for, and it's already there. You're already making that
Yeah.
impact. It's in your client testimonials. That's where you'll find that strength and that source to keep going. So even if you don't hit those goals, because listen, I've had many goals that I wasn't able to hit. I took a major risk and I moved my studio into like this insane 2-floor penthouse studio space and it just became too much and I had to give it up. It was my dream studio. I loved it.
Oh,
I had so much fun in there, but I had to give it up because it was too much. I wasn't able to hit like all the other goals to sustain it. And you know what?
yeah.
That was fine. And I was proud of myself because I made it happen. I manifested it. You want to talk about manifestation? Holy crap. Um, the way I ended up getting this studio space, I was looking at the space for a while and I was just like, it's out of reach. It's going to be too much and everything. And I had my daughters in my old studio and my oldest daughter, Jody, at the time, she was just like, could I get like a pen and paper? She wanted to draw or whatever. I'm like, here you go, sweetheart. Go ahead. Go play. Do what you need to do. And then I come back into the room and she's like, Daddy, look. And she wrote on there like to do. And then it said call and it had the phone number for the location that I wanted to be in. And she's like, Daddy, you're going to call this number. This is going to be your new studio. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I followed it and it happened
Wow.
and it was awesome. It sucked losing it. It hurt really bad, because once again, this was literally my dream studio, like how I envisioned it in my head being 2 floors, being separated the way that it was, having a freaking private rooftop of the view of the city. Like it was insane, but it was a big goal and I couldn't hold on to it as long as I wanted to, but I also didn't feel bad about it. I mean, yeah, it hurt a lot for a
Yeah,
while,
yeah.
you know,
But you didn't
but
shame yourself.
I didn't shame myself because I realized I was still achieving the actual dream, like the actual goal, which was to help people. And it doesn't matter where it is. I used to do
Mhm.
this in my apartment. I used to do this in my living room and still get amazing results with clients. So now I actually just realized that it was kind of like a ball and chain. It was actually holding me back. Like this one thing that I thought was going to be like so amazing and amplify everything for me was literally holding me back because it was
Yeah.
stressing me out. It was too big for me. But now I'm a lot more freer. So I actually travel to clients and I make it work for them, like in their location, in their spaces and everything. And it's actually a lot better and it's a lot more fun and freeing. So
Yeah. You made
just
space for bigger, better.
exactly. So even though we have all these goals, we have these big ideas, even if you don't achieve it, realize you're still achieving it because you're achieving the main purpose of it. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like the main purpose is like the small little circle. Everything we want is like bigger around it. It's almost like a gobstopper, if you would. The core is what
Yeah.
we want, but it's like we keep building all these layers around it, or a rubber band
Uh-huh.
ball you want. You keep building it bigger and bigger and bigger. Sometimes it gets too big and it pops, but always realize that you have that core. And that core is what really drives you. That's where the real power is. And so many of us don't know our cores on the inside, which is why introspection work, self perception. This is like the literal answer to everything, in my opinion. It's what's been helping me actually make things stick. And it's what's been helping me drive my business, help my clients. And it's awesome. So, yeah.
I love that. Well, your clients are very lucky to have you, for
Thank
real.
you. I'm
I
very
love
lucky to have
knowing that you're
them.
out in the world.
Yeah.
Well, so tell us where to find you.
Oh, yes. So, my website, gregoryjamesphotography.com. That's where you could see my entire process. You could reach out to me. You could also find me on Instagram. That's at gregoryjames.photo. You could also just go to gregoryjames.photo. I bought that domain also. So you could go there if you don't want to type out photography and make it too long. But yeah, like those are like the two main spots. That's where most people are anyway. I'm also on TikTok at gregoryjames.photo. I'm trying to build up all my social media channels, but I always hated social media. So I'm
Me
trying to change
too.
that this next year. But I love this. And it's because I'm very good with like one-on-one conversations. But when I feel like I need to like talk to a crowd of people,
Yeah.
I feel like the message kind of gets lost because now I'm making it more generic, where it's like I
Uh-huh.
love making it more direct to people. But I'm also learning it's like just be direct online and it's like the right people hear
Agreed.
it and the right people listen. So I'm working on that.
Well,
I'm making my social media better, but yeah,
it's good that you're doing more podcasts because
it is.
that's why so again, audience, I'm sorry, but so one of the things, so I've done this like blueprint thing and some other things that for like the last year, I was getting all these varying messages that my voice is the magic, that I have
Yeah,
a gift of translating. Like when I teach people what the things I've learned, I say it in a way that can land on all ears and they can interpret it however they need it, whatever. Still
yeah,
feels weird to say that out loud, but it
yeah.
is the truth, and I
It is.
once I believed it, I could see it, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually true." For a long time, I was not posting clips of me talking whenever I post clips
Mhm.
of the shows because, I need my guests to accept the collaboration request on Instagram so we can share audiences, and they wouldn't if I was talking, so I just stopped for a long time because I wasn't thinking. It's been a very big, weird transformation, but, um, when I started to really tune into, like, it's your voice that matters, you have to, like, put your voice out there, I was like, "Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll tag them or whatever in 3 clips of them talking, and then for my audience, I'll just post 1 or 2, whatever, like, I can find,
Mhm.
of me talking." And damn, I was like, "Why did it take so long to get there?" But it's true, like, once
Yeah,
I started posting clips of me talking, I'm getting a lot more downloads. So
because people are coming to you. They're coming to
mhm,
you.
right.
Yes, they want to hear from your guests, but they really want to hear why did you pick the guest? What
Mhm.
makes it important to you? Because they're already listening to you and your message because that helps them feel better about themselves. Okay. And then it's just like, hey guys, this person is aligned with all of us. Check them out. That's how it
Yeah.
should be. And you can't have that if it's not you, you know?
Yeah.
If it's just like you're just posting the other person talking, it's like, okay, I guess. Why should I care about them? I came here for Melissa. You know,
Well,
I
that
want to see
makes
Melissa.
perfect sense to me, but it didn't ever occur to me to before. Like it
It
was
doesn't because we don't think
it's
about
a
it. We don't
process.
think about it like that. We're like so focused on like, okay, what does our audience, what do our clients want?
Uh-huh.
And it's like they want to hear like these other things, but this is also where I'm struggling and trying to learn too. It's like we have to hit them at their level. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like if they're up here, we're telling them it's like, listen, the secret sauce is down here. We need to like bring you down to here. So it's like we try to like deliver this at them. We need to start up there. We need to be like, okay, like here's where you are,
Yes.
where we're gonna meet. But listen, I know you think that's the answer.
Uh-huh.
It's really all
Uh-huh.
the things that are at its core. So yeah, because like when people are searching, they're not searching, oh, like how do I improve my introspection work? How do I improve my self-perception? It's like, no, they're just like, how the fuck do I feel better about XYZ situation?
Yeah.
And like so
Yeah.
it's like that's how we have to like advertise. That's how we have to, you know, grab them. So it's grabbing them at like that level. And then it's
Well,
like,
and
okay,
that's made me feel like a lot more comfortable about how open I've been with the like declaration of like, really, this show's about me and
yeah,
my evolution as a human, because it started truly as a way to share what I was trying to become more vulnerable. That
yeah,
because I had no idea of any of the other shit at the time of starting the show. I was in the middle of a fucking mental health crisis when I started this show. I was trying very hard to heal and I didn't know how. So I
yeah.
started this show in efforts to be vulnerable and to teach people about vulnerability because that's what I was learning. And in this show, I've met all of the people who have changed everything for me, you know?
That's amazing. And you know
So
what? The
it's
audience sees
me.
that too. And this is going to always be documented. So you're going to have your entire growth documented for people, which is going to be fucking insane, honestly. Because listen, obviously, like the goal is to have like Oprah level reach and Oprah
Yes. Let's
level
be real.
type
That's
of
what everybody
impact
wants.
on people. Okay.
Yes.
But how amazing would it have been if you saw Oprah's journey? You know?
Yeah.
That's literally what you're showing people. And honestly, yeah, it's a long run,
Mm-hmm.
but it's helping people because you're meeting them where they're at also. So you're telling them it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be at this stage. This is where I'm fucking am too. What am I doing about it? I'm talking about it. I'm being open about it. And
Mm-hmm.
that alone will start helping people make that shift for themselves, which really
Yeah.
is the start of it. Once again, man knows nothing will, like nothing will change, nothing will begin unless you speak, and nothing will change unless you move. So it definitely starts with speaking up. It definitely starts with speaking about your issues, speaking about your problems, not being ashamed of it, not being
Mm-hmm.
ashamed of the trauma of your past, of everything that's weighing you down, because when you start talking about it, you shine a light on it. And when you shine a light on it, you realize it's not that scary. It's scary because it's in the
Right.
darkness, it's in the shadows,
Right.
But once you put a light on it, it's like, oh, fuck, there you are, shame. Why am I
Yes.
shame?
Yes, exactly. Yes. And all the times like I remember clients they would message me after like the first session and I would make them buy the book that like I used because it was a whole episode on the show. Anyway, um they'd be like I just started this checklist. I'm already crying. I'm like, I know it's awesome, right? But like don't be so afraid of the crying cuz isn't this so much easier than all the shit we've ever done to avoid that feeling? Is that
Yeah,
feeling nearly as bad as all the things we've ever done to ourselves to try to avoid it? And man, just that shift alone, that
yeah.
realization changes people. It changed me, like learning how much I had avoided feeling for my entire life, you know?
And it's crazy how impactful reframing truly is. And it works so well because essentially everything is kind of like a coin. It just
Mhm.
has like a flip side of it. So it's like every negative feeling, there's a positive feeling right behind it. You just have to learn how to flip that coin over and be like, oh, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Yeah, okay, that negative thing did happen to me, but it led to X, Y, and Z, which has actually improved me and is
Yep.
actually making the person who I am. And it actually built resilience in me, you know? But you also see like all the ways it negatively affected you. You might be like, okay, it actually blocked me off because now I keep myself like small. I'm not allowing myself to speak up because this person did that to me. And once you just acknowledge that, once again, shining the light on it, you could be like, why am I still letting that affect me?
Right.
Why am I still letting this thing that happened so many years ago? It was a one-off thing. It wasn't even consistent. Even if it was consistent, it's like it's still in the past. Like it's gone. It's
Yeah.
over. Why am I still letting that hold me back from everything that I want, from everything that I desire, for everything that I need to be? And whether we realize it or not, we're saying these things internally. You know, we have that voice inside that's begging to come out, that's like screaming at us.
Yep.
And it's like, why are you holding me back? And I just want to help people tap into that, allow them to let that voice shine, capture it for them so that they never forget it. Because
Yeah.
even though the voice is there, it's hard because like you don't see it. And it's like you look
Mhm.
in the mirror and you might put yourself down. You may or may not hear that positive voice inside. Normally we look in the mirror, we put ourselves down. It's like, oh man, like I look like shit. It's like it's not as
Right.
good as see. But when you actually see it, when it's made physical, you could physically hold this portrait of you and be like, shit, like there she is, there he is. I'm fucking amazing. You feel it. And you can look at this every day, like keep it over your bed or whatever, this portrait, look at it and be like, fuck yeah, that's me. And it just helps you live your days a bit better because it's just that constant reminder of, once again, all of your strengths. And we need that.
I love it.
This is
Yes.
this is why we get married to people because they make us feel good. They keep acknowledging our
Yeah.
strengths. And it's like, that's why
Yes.
we latch on to them. And it's like, if you don't have that, this is another replacement, just having
Mhm.
an amazing portrait of yourself and making yourself feel better on your own. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. You have been so wonderful.
Whoa.
I've had such a good time with you.
This has been such a fucking awesome conversation, Melissa. I have loved this
I'm so
myself.
glad. Good.
Yes.
I'm glad. Made the tech issues worth it?
Yes. I mean, listen, I still got to figure out what the hell's going on with my camera, why this keeps crapping out on me. It's like everything's plugged
Mercury
in. It's
retrograde.
fine.
It's almost
I guess
over. It's
so.
almost over. Okay, I'm gonna press stop. Hang out for just a sec.
Thanks for coming to Emotionally Unavailable. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share.